Hello, everybody. Shalom. Welcome to our marriage and relationship counseling Q&A session. This is Apostle Mercedes, and I'm your host this morning. I'm bringing this live stream to you from the Netherlands. I am the author of Fulfilling God's Purpose for Your Life Against All Odds and the Prayer of a Bitter Wife. I just want to say thank you so much for sending me your questions. I definitely honor you, and we are praying for you and praying with you and believing God for you. And also, thank you for sending us your praise report. And we certainly are celebrating with you. I'm really excited today because we have something interesting to share with you today. And not only that, and I am with my special guest, Apostle Joanne, and again, she's no longer a stranger to my viewers. So I'm just going to bring her up, and we are going to answer some of your questions. Some of you have been sending us some quite interesting question. I keep saying to people, hey, listen, these are real questions from real people and with real situations. And so I'm really excited about the questions today. So let me bring my guest quickly, and so that we'll just dive right in. So invite your friend. Let me know where you're watching from. Welcome, Apostle. Welcome, Apostle Joanne. Thank you for joining us today again. And our viewers have been so excited every time we have a special guest on the broadcast. They are so appreciative, and definitely I'm appreciative. I love to bring different people to the broadcast because of the nature of what we deal with, real situations, real people that need to make real life changes. Of course, it's not everybody that, not all of our viewers at home are Christian believers. So that is the beauty of this program, because everyone can send in their question. So, welcome again. And we have a few questions today. We have a few questions today. So I'm just going to put one or two questions out there, and then you will chip in and see how we can be of, help or support to people out there. And most of the questions, most of the answers, we've been really pulling out a lot of things from my book, which was designed last year, actually, The Prayer of a Bitter Wife. We've been just going through it, actually. So because a lot of people have been using this book within their small groups, their cell groups, counseling sessions, and all that. I've been having until now about 98% of success rates. So that is why we are just, during our marriage and relationship Q&A session around the book. And so that when you go home, you can be able to take time, read it. Maybe you have questions, then, that might be able to help as well. What is the none? Somebody just asked a question. So send in, let us know where you're watching from. Apostle Joanne, I have this question today.
Yes.
I have this question today. So again, you have our WhatsApp number. Feel free to send in your question there as well. Okay, so we might be able to pull up your question. And of course, we just came up just a few minutes earlier than we were expecting to come on to the live broadcast. Okay, this is my first question. First question from Janelle. Yes, thank you so much, Janelle, for sending us this question. I'm just going to pull it out. Yes, thank you. And we have had similar, have been the same question, almost the same question, uh, over and over again. So we're just going to answer these questions, and then we're going to probably do a rerun for those that have missed the program. And one of the questions is, thank you, Janelle. Thank you so much for sending me this question. Say, can a bad marriage turn me away from God? That is from Janelle. Janelle from South Carolina. Can a bad marriage turn me away from God? I just want to say Again, I so appreciate your question. I feel the sincerity of your heart when you send this question. Can a bad marriage turn me away from God? You know, when we went through your questions, like um I don't know if a bad marriage can turn you away from God, but being in a relationship with a bad person can. Because, for example, you can be a victim, and then you're a good person and you've been sincere and you're in a marriage. And just because that marriage is bad, it's not enough to turn you away from God if you turn to God in the time of your crisis. So maybe when you're in the time of your crisis, things are not going well, and you turn to God, so that marriage can not turn you away from God. But if you're in a bad marriage and then you turn away from God because you're not consumed with time, and it's consuming your time, and you're not doing the things that you normally will not do, that will certainly turn you away from God. Again, that is definitely something to think about. Again, Janelle, thank you for sending me this question. But before I let you go, I want Apostle Joy to also chip in. Apostle Joy, can a bad marriage turn someone away from God?
Thank you, Apostle. Thank you so much. Yes, what does it mean by bad marriage? Is the woman an idolater, like an idol worshiper? Is she involved in other gods? If she's involved in other gods and he is that married, then yes, it's very possible to turn away from God. When you look at King Solomon's life, he left God when he got old because of, he got himself involved with bad women, idol worshippers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's very
Wow.
possible. But if it's just like Apostle Mercedes already said, if it's just, it depends on what he meant by bad. If it's
Yeah.
just a woman that served God but maybe all stressed up with problems, or just a carnal woman, then there is hope. Then he
Yeah.
can pray
Mm.
till God turn the marriage around. He don't
Okay.
have to turn away
Right.
from God. But if
Right.
she's busy with another religion,
Mhm.
very, very possible to turn away from
Okay. So, in other words, it's like a bad marriage actually cannot turn you away from God. A bad marriage here is, somebody's in a bad marriage, things are not working, there's strife and everything everywhere. That is the definition of her bad marriage. So that
God.
one itself will not turn you away from God. But what will
Mm,
turn you away from God, like you said, is when you are not turning to God, or you're turning from God. Okay. And even if you are a believer, even if you profess to be a child of God, but you stay away from God, you forsake him, you neglect him, don't want anything to do with him, you are so consumed, the marriage become your idol, because you're so busy wanting to fight for your marriage, and just and then God is no longer important. You so put your marriage in a pedestal that you see your spouse or everything as God. So when that can turn you away from God, because then you are not serving your marriage has taken the place of God. Okay, but if you are in a bad relationship, a bad marriage, and you're a victim in there, or your husband is a victim in there, and even in the midst of turmoil, you can still talk, you can still turn to God. That will not take you away. Okay, just like what Apostle was saying, like, Solomon, the wife turned his heart away from God. So, and it's really, so that was not because of the marriage, but it's because of the people there. Again, marriage consists of people, isn't it? Amen. So, yeah, I think it's quite clear, isn't it? That is quite clear. So, another thing I would like to do, if you are really experiencing that bad marriage right now, we really will advise you to get help, get counseling, and don't wait till it escalates to you don't need to wallow there. The help is available. If you let us, give us details. I always say, whenever you write us, give us just a little bit more details. Give us more details as to what is happening. Are you in a harm's way? Are you in physical you know
Yes. This is
yeah,
bad.
yeah, are you in an abusive relationship? We want to know so that we'll know how we can support you even from a long distance, and we have strategic partners everywhere from around the world that we can actually reach out to, whether you're in the States or Africa, wherever, Asia. We can be able to reach out to them so that they can reach out to you in a safe manner. So let us know what exactly is happening. If you're in a marriage where it's constantly turmoil, and other you now forsake God, that is a dangerous place to be. But if you always know, if you are in a bad marriage and you constantly, reach out to the Lord, then your deliverance is certain. So again, thank you. I'm going to rush this to you. I'm going to rush my book, The Prayer of a Bitter Wife, and the handbook, the workbook, as well as the notebook. Okay, so there are
Mm.
three part series, so it will really be a blessing to you. You can go through it and you get a lot of information. The worth of a woman, the strength of a woman, the purpose before partner, the beauty of godly marriage. You can read about it, you'll be blessed. The So many things. Communication, the power of forgiveness, overcoming bitterness. All these things are there. So I mean, we can go on and on. So this will help you. At least the most important thing is to learn to communicate. So we're going to move on quickly to the next question. Thank you so much, Apostle John, because people need to understand this. You know it's very easy to be in that place of condemnation. Or maybe my marriage is not good, so maybe it's going to pull me away from God. Then they don't even try to go to God. You should always try and go to the Lord. As
Yes,
far
yes.
as you are in the position to say, my help is from you, there is hope. There is hope. Even if you got married to somebody else from other religion, and they are turning your heart away from God, but as far as you keep going to his place, he will still do something with your heart and give you the strength and courage to get out of there. Okay, so but don't turn away from God. So thank you for that illustration, because that's the best we can give about Solomon. That is a perfect illustration for anyone that is thinking about that. We really have similar questions today, and I just thought it's just amazing. This is so powerful. Please let us know where you're watching from. And again, this is our Q&A session and counseling session, everything to do with relationship, as you still say, family affairs. Do you have questions? Send it in. Okay, the next question is this, Apostle. And this is what they said. Can anger turn me away from God? When we saw it, I said, put this close. We're going to answer these two together. So this is a young married person. Say, can anger turn me away from God? And the first reply will reply this person like, he said, be angry and do not sin. Can anger turn people away from God? Anyway, I personally think that depends, because I during my counseling session, and during when we were busy with this book, during the research of the prayer of a bitter wife, we spoke with over 48 women, different background, different ethnic background, different age group, different, uh, even the bless you from Grenada, Shanna bless you, and even age group is different, educational background different, and we were talking about this, anger in their marriages. Okay, both believers and non-believers. So they didn't know each other's, of course, and we saw one thing in common, and that made the scripture For me, it made the scripture to come alive when he said, "Be angry, but sin not." Okay, so and everybody talked about anger. Almost 48 women, different country, different continent, different ethnic background, different age groups, and different religious background as well. And one thing is, and these were women who were really engaged in extramarital affairs. These people, have sexual partners after they are in within their marriages. Why? The only thing, one thing we kept hearing is this. I was so angry at my husband, and because he didn't listen, anger, frustration, bitterness came together. They latch out because they are hungry. They feel like, I'm going to get you, I'm going to do this. This is what anger can do. And if your anger have excelled to that level, it can't turn you away from God, because that anger should bring you to God and say, Lord, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. Maybe he doesn't listen to me, or maybe he's not, he doesn't take me seriously. And you go and talk to God about the situation in your marriage. But if you as the woman, you are so angry and so bitter and so frustrated, as a result, you just say, you know what, you're just going to sleep with another guy, you're just going to do this in order to get your husband, then you'll be angry, and that anger have caused you to sin. So I want to hear that. And so this is my take on this. And you want to get this book, because we have true uh, testimonies, real stories. There are real stories in here. These stories, of course, the names are different, the cities, the countries are different. We had written permissions to put, and these stories were really from our counseling sessions. And these were people that said, you know what, I want you to put my story in there, but I don't just want my name in there. I don't want my city in there. Change the name of the guys and everything. That's what we did. But these stories are real, just to let you know that there is danger in you know carrying that anger for a long time. And not only the anger, but then there is bitterness come in, frustration comes in, and you don't just care, you just want to hurt your husband. Because something, I was surprised when I started this project. I was like, wow, I'm going to write this thing and I'm going to set sisters free. At the end of this, I started praying for brothers. I'm like, oh, like so much frustration. That is why I'm doing this program, to bring information to you, so that you be equipped, so that you not allow frustration, bitterness, anger, offense to bring you into that place of sin. This can be very, very dangerous. And sometimes I was really naive or gullible, you will say. I didn't think women cheat at all. I didn't even believe that. I would come home um after my research. I'm talking to my husband. I'm like, my head is like this. Like, did you believe that? Did you see that? Like, this cannot be true, really. But then there was this so much compassion that the Lord gives to me for these people, because they were sincere. It's like they just feel like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to hurt you. I'm like, it was crazy. So I really have intercessors praying for me. I'm like, I'm hearing things I've never heard before. I'm like, is this real? So we know there are real issues. So Apostle Joy, you hear this. What do you say about this? Can this, what is your take in this? I want to hear everything that you want to share with these women, but we're going to hear that after this break. Okay. Welcome back, people of God. Thank you for tuning in. We were treating the matter of anger. Again, this is Apostle Mercedes Mondon, and this is my marriage and relationship counseling Q&A session. So I'm here with my special guest, Apostle Joanne. I'm so excited. So before the break, we talked about if anger, the danger actually of anger, bitterness, and frustration that have left some women into, we're not talking about men now, we're not talking about married women, into having extramarital affairs. And again, those that have read my book, if you've not read my book, go to amazon.com or UK or DE and get a copy of this. You'll be surprised. Powerful testimonies and how God delivered them as well. Again, God did not, they didn't need to pray for God to deliver them from fornication or whatever, or idolatry, but God had to deliver them from anger, because the root of that adulterous relationships were anger, bitterness, and frustration. So the Lord had to take that away for them to let go of the other demons. So, Apostle Joanne, chip in on this. What do you say? Somebody comes to you, for example, in the counseling session, and what do you say to them about this issue? Can anger turn me away from God? What would be your answer?
Like you said, Apostle, it depends. I mean, if the person is really in love with Jesus, number
Mhm.
one, no matter how angry you are, that should be the last
Think.
way of resolving the anger or controlling the anger. Number one, I say the person should pray for self-control. And yes,
First of all,
even
I
if
want
they
us
are
to,
angry.
before you go on, I want you to know that they are not all believers. So I want you to scope in
uh
that, because not all are believers, or not all are in the same level. There are some babies, there are some unbelievers. So we need to reach out to all women, because not everybody will sort out. So help us there.
Okay. So that is what I was trying to say. If the person is unbeliever, then that should be no go area. But
Amen.
the people that are still, they are in a relationship, just ordinary people. Yes,
Right.
when you have a problem and you are angry with your husband, yes, just allow it to sink in. Take a space, take a time, and think about it.
Mm,
Think about
yeah.
what he did, and think about how you are going to resolve it. Get a
Mm,
counselor and talk to
mm.
them, because
Wow.
going out and sleeping with another person is another way of triggering the problem. Because if the man find out now that you slept with somebody, he will go and do it again, and then you will do it
He can
again,
kill,
and then it
he
go
can
on
kill
and
you.
on and on. So anger, when you are
He
angry
can
like
kill
that,
you.
calm down and
Wow.
look for someone to advise you, somebody that you trust, somebody that
Mm.
can give you the right advice. Not girls that are not married, because they don't have advice. If you have friends,
Ooh,
yes, if you
that's
have friends
powerful.
that are not married and you are angry with your husband, don't run to them and call them, because they will give you the wrong advice.
I
Go
love
and
this.
sleep with somebody. Revenge, attack. But no,
Yes.
when you are angry, look for somebody that is also married, or that can give you an
Mm,
advice and how to resolve this. And don't sort it
this is
out
good.
immediately. Think about it, take time to cool down and think of what you have to do next.
This
That's
this
my
this
piece.
is this is amazing. Did you guys hear that? So who the person that counsels you in the time of those, of your season of frustration matters, because if a because I'm telling you, like I said, I thought, wow, this is like, like issues with unbeliever, and then this is like issue with young people, but then you see people even over 60s, or teenagers. I'm like, huh, is this real? And I just love what Apostle said, like, you need to be careful who speaks to you in that season. You need to be very, very careful, but especially don't go and uh get advice from somebody that is not married, which should not be smart in the first place. So again, Anger can turn us away from God if we sin. Because I love what the Bible says, say, be angry, but do not sin. It didn't make sense until I said, I'm like, wow. And that is why you will see through the thread of the scriptures, the Bible condemns bitterness, frustration. That is why we have to pray against frustration, because sometimes there are powers that want to frustrate somebody, to frustrate one out of that place of blessing. Like you said, for believers, you should never allow yourself to come to the place of defilement. It's not worth it. Not our relationship, not any amount of money. It's just not worth it. Again, we are here for you, and to be that place of refuge and safe place for you, that whatever you're going through, and because sometimes people really don't know who to trust or who to go to. As a result, they make um decisions that can hurt them. So we are here to listen to you, to counsel you, and to always talk, communicate. What Okay, Apostle Joy, so maybe somebody want to talk, communicate, want to talk to the husband, or is in trying to talk to the husband, and they are not just listening. What should such a sister do? What should they do?
If she say yes, I understand some sisters, they are frustrated because some men just don't listen. You talk
Mm,
and talk and talk, and they have, some of them have some certain character that they come with stress from the
mm,
place of work, they bring it home.
mm,
And when you talk to them, it's like you are speaking Chinese and they are understanding
mhm.
a Sudanese. So it, this type, you just said, wait for him to be calm. You know your husband. You got to see when he's merry. Sometimes you need to check. You need to see when you can talk to him. Because
Yeah.
if you just speak to a brother or speak to him when you know he just come from his work and he's still stressed or he's angry, then you go cheap. You need to find a way. You don't, because you don't
Mhm.
address anger with anger. You don't address somebody
Mm,
that is
mm,
irritated already with sometimes you want to communicate, but look at their appearance, look at their situation, look at how they are at that moment before you can
mm,
communicate. Because if you don't know your
mm,
husband and you communicate at the wrong time, it might backslash. Look for
yeah.
a time and a moment to release that word, to communicate with him. Don't communicate when you know that he's stressed out when it comes to work. Give him space, feed him first, give him attention first, calm him down
Wait a
before
minute.
you can
If, for
communicate.
example, Apostle, wait. If you say feed him first, this is a woman that is already angry and frustrated. I don't
Yes,
think she's in a place to feed him first. This, because this is the real thing. A
I
woman,
understand.
young ladies, they are sometimes immature or sometimes just tired. Because
Yes.
I believe that, because with the people we spoke with, most of this anger and bitterness and offense have been building for more than 10 years. So have been building for more than 5 years. So this person may not really want to play Queen Esther. So what do you do?
Like, Apostle, the only thing again is when you are angry,
Patient.
they have to calm down and talk to
Mm,
someone. That's the best advice
right.
I can give to them, because don't react or communicate
Mm,
when you are angry. Can't
right.
go and calm down, go and chill.
Mm,
Because, like
mm,
I said, also when the man is angry, you talk to them, they get
mm,
angry. And the same way, when
mm,
you are angry and you come in an angry way to your husband, then he will not
mm.
understand anymore that it's about him. He will turn the table around that you came in an angry way. So
Beautiful.
yeah, men can live in denial, but they can easily turn things.
Wow.
So the type of
Wow.
what you got to do is to, when you are so angry, just leave the house, run outside, run to somewhere that you can calm down. Take your telephone, call the person you can trust that
Mm,
is married,
Yeah.
talk to the person. Yes, and I
Hmm.
know some of them has been putting it for years, and
Yeah.
sometimes they just want to explode. Yes, and that is
Right.
where
Yeah.
self-control comes in. That's where you run to God. If you don't have Jesus to run to, then run to somebody like a counselor. Amen. So that you will
Mm.
not do anything irrational
Rational.
out of that
Right.
anger. So
Right.
my advice is
Wow.
to
Thank.
calm down
Yeah.
when you are angry for
Powerful.
that 2 seconds. Blow it
Yeah.
out, take a
Yeah.
face, and think of what you were going to do. Are you thinking to
Thank
go
you
and
so
sleep?
much.
Think
I'm
about the
so happy for
consequences.
that question.
Yes.
This is something you need to just this like the advice our you know one of our counselors is giving to you now is to just meditate on that. It's like no matter what, no matter at least this is what I'm understanding from the apostle. No matter what, calm down. No matter what, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. It doesn't matter how long this is being built wrong. And my dad used to say, two wrong doesn't make a right. So, and
Mhm. Exactly.
one person still needs to be very mature. Wow.
Yes.
No matter that is very thick right there. He said, no matter what, you need to still calm down first. Wow, that's
Yes.
good. So I'm going to rush this book your way. Thank you for sending us these questions. I'm going to rush this for you, to read talk about communication and many other wonderful things. Thank you so much. And we still have one interesting question. So continue to send us your questions. Well, Apostle, that is really because we want to make sure, that is why when I was doing the book project, I just wanted to make sure that it's a really well balanced book, to make sure that it speaks to different audience with different experience. And because they are, of course, as a child of God, we are, our foundation is the Lord. We have a guidance. The word of God guides us. We know what to do. We know that you can't defile, your marriage bed. You can't, so those guidance are there. If things are heavy, we know how to pray and all that. But then I also realize that there were some people that cannot do that they are not there yet, or
Yes.
so. And I really love what they say. No matter what where you are in life, when you are angry, do not sin. Calm down. Do not go and have conversation. Calm down. Just calm down. So that will work for everybody. Safe,
Yes.
unsafe, everybody. That works.
Mhm.
Wow. So we still have one last question, and then we're going to wrap it up for today. But we want to have that question. Please let us know where you're watching from, and we definitely want to answer a question if you have questions to us online. So we'll have asked the last question right after this break. Thank you. Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. I am so excited. Did you miss Apostle John's remark? You want to do a rebroadcast immediately after we go offline. Again, thank you for sending me your questions. And of course, I really love the invitations. Some of you have been sending to me, the invitation to weddings. Again, thank you. I read all your cards. I read them. Thank you so much. And we pray for you, even though we'll not be able to be there. I'm not able to be there in person to grace the occasion. But we're definitely happy and rejoicing that God has brought restoration into your marriage, your home, and relationships. And we are grateful for that. So with that being said, this question really touched me. Okay, when I read it, I thought, you know what, we're just going to treat it because normally we actually just treat two questions and then we're done. But I want to read this. It was the combination of everything. So I had to also cut just to verify one or two things. So when I'm presenting it, we can have clarity about this matter. So 3 years ago from Veronica. Thank you, Veronica, for sending this to me. Definitely appreciate it. So I'm not going to say the name of your city just because of privacy, because she's a minister as well. So, but so 3 years ago, no, sorry, 3 years after I got married, I started drinking alcohol in order to cope with the stress from my husband. I'm not blaming my drinking habits at at that time at anyone, but it helped me. This lasted for another 5 years. So now this is somebody that came into a relationship. The stress was so much, and she started drinking after 3 years. So she was actually
Oh,
hooked for 5 years, drunk drinking.
my God.
And God finally have given me deliverance from alcohol. My husband looked disappointed with my decision to stop drinking. Uh, uh, but he still buys alcohol at home to tempt me. So,
My
so I,
God.
so I Oh, sorry. Okay. So every time I got tempted, there's something I didn't understand. That every time I got tempted to drink, I open the bottle and I throw it away. So this is happening continuously. What should I do? Oh, precious Veronica. I'm really sorry that you're going through this as we're trying to confirm one or two things and on this matter. I think I'm having a visitor. Yes. But anyway, it's family broadcast, so uh, you know, well, hi darling. You want to join me to broadcast? No? Yeah. Okay. So I'll be right back. You want to join me? Yeah? Okay. All right then. Okay. So let's join Apple to join. So okay. I'm really sorry that you have to go through this. And your question is what you should do. I will continue to do what you're doing right now. That every time, because congratulations on your sobriety, that you have stopped and drinking and putting your life back in order. And you should never. I don't think you should any relationship that will bring the worst out of you is something to reconsider, because our relationship should bring the best out of us. Okay, relationship, people around us should bring the best out of us. So but since this, yeah, you've been under heavy stress, you know. So you want to, yeah, I love what you're doing. You said whenever you're whenever he brings this, then you just get rid of the alcohol. Yeah, I don't think you are being nasty at all. So I think you are doing the right thing, because God don't want you to do that. God don't want you to be polluted by that. So Apostle Johan, what will you say to Veronica?
It's a terrible situation to be God's helper. Yes,
Right,
my ex marriage was like that. I was so
right,
stressed in this relationship that I started drinking. Yes, that was my past relationship. So, what I did was, of course, first get myself cleaned up. Yes, stop drinking. Yes, and he was still buying also alcohol, bringing it at home, so that I will be drunk. I don't know what he's doing. So do But you have made up your mind, and what you are doing now is the right thing. Continue to open it and throw it away. Continue to open it and throw it away until he stop buying. Yes, and if that relationship is really really something that you cannot deal with, then you might have to look for a counselor. If you're a Christian, look for a godly counselor and talk to someone about this. Yes, so that you can get help, because I would say alcohol is also a spirit. If you are somebody's always buying it, bringing it, and you are always opening it and smelling it, yes, one day you might try to test it again. So I will suggest that you get help, get a counselor, or somebody that can give you advice, a marriage counselor. But when you are born again, look for a Christian counselor, or somebody that you can talk to, because like it can tempt you. One day you might open it, instead of throwing it away, you start drinking it. Is a spirit. So apostle, she need to find spiritual and physical help. Yes, on this
Wow.
matter.
Thank you so much for sharing your testimony because thank you so much for sharing your testimony. That is so powerful, for sharing such a powerful testimony which I didn't even know at all. So yes, we
I
really
left.
proud the fact.
I left that marriage. I left that relationship.
Wow, wow, wow. And look at where
So
you are at now. And God is
yes, she
blessing
might
you.
not have the strength to leave, but let her have help. Because Apostle, I started from alcohol. He was buying alcohol every time, and then alcohol was not making me drunk anymore. And then I added ash to it, and it was not. And then I added cocaine. I was getting deeper and deeper until God delivered me. And after I did that, yes, after I was getting delivered, he was still buying serious whiskey, 200 euro a bottle, gold, and all this type of blue whiskey. And I was getting almost tempted again. I left that relationship for my life to become.
Wow.
God helped me also. I ran to the church, but let her look for help,
Wow.
spiritually and physical help.
Listen, I'm really glad that that you're online today for this, because I did not know this about you. And secondly, you did not we didn't with I didn't run these questions by you before I came
Mm,
online. So,
mm.
and that is just amazing to see that, this is hope. That means if God can do it for Apostle Joanne, God can do it for you. And I really love it
Exactly.
that you have recognized this and you are seeing it too, that no, this person
Yes.
doesn't have my best interest at heart,
No.
because he's supposed to be celebrating your sobriety, okay?
Mm.
And it's not doing that. So we want to send you some help. We want to send you some more information. We want to see how we can help you, and I'm going to send you this I'm going to send you these bundles, the book, the main book, the workbook, and the notebook, so to understand boundaries. So now you are saying, okay, you're not protecting yourself. You need to protect yourself. You don't want to destroy yourself, destroy your liver and everything. I believe the same God that delivered Apostle Joanne from that
Yes.
deadly relationship will also deliver you. I see the strength
Yes.
of God on her. The fact that she said, even in that, she made up her
Mm.
mind, and that is just vicious. What
Yes.
how do you, I mean, why do you think he's doing that, Apostle Joanne? Why do you think he's just being
Because
kind, or
he was cheating. He was having an
mm,
extramarital affair. So he wants to keep me drunk so I can never find out or notice his filthiness. He wanted to keep me in captivity so that I will not figure out the truth. So as long as I'm always drunk and high,
wow,
he can do as many things
wow,
as yes,
wow,
that was the
my God,
reason. Yes.
my God, I'm trying to get more light on my face here, but that is just powerful. What you just said, though. So,
It
so,
was
so,
terrible.
what will you give to this sister? I mean, I love the advice you're giving. Get counseling, which of course we are providing counseling, to you, and making sure that every help you need, you get that. Of course, we partner with other certified counselor from around the world, and that can bring help, and to make sure that you are in a safe place. And I really love that, because it's just like you want to actually waste her life. This
Because
they
of
want
his
to waste her life so that.
selfish lifestyle.
Hmm. Wow.
Apostle,
Wow.
my advice to this lady, I would tell her, sit him down. Tell him you don't want no more alcohol in that house. Talk to
Mm-hmm.
him that because you don't want him to be buying it anymore. And if he
Hmm.
really cares for you, he will help. But if he
Yeah, he
doesn't
will be proud of
listen,
it.
then you know where you stand in the
Yeah.
marriage.
Wow. 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 That is powerful. That is really powerful. Just to uh That is just amazing. So I just want to say, really thank you. Maybe before we go offline, and can we pray for them and just pray for these wonderful people? I want to pray. I think the first question was about bad marriage. We want to pray for those that are in a bad relationship right now, that God will reach them and bring healing to them, bring understanding for them. And we're also praying that those that the spirit of anger, frustration have crawled into their spirit, that the Lord will deliver them from that, and that the Lord will convict them that, because, having extramarital affair for a woman is not the way to go. Whether for a woman, for a man, it's not the way to go. There are many dangers out there. Plus, it's not pleasing unto the Lord. And not only that, you don't want to defy yourself. Again, it's almost the same, isn't it? Because a man, a relationship that would drive you that crazy enough to say
Mm.
for a woman to, because it's not something,
Unhealthy.
it's out of character for for you to drive that woman so crazy to go and start cheating on you. Men, I think that is crazy, because I just don't, we I've never really seen that apart from when we're doing our research. So that is also bad. That means, your husband should bring the best out of you. Your wife should bring the best out of you. So we should bring, if people around you, you should bring the best out of each other. Okay. And let us pray for them. Let us pray healing. Let us pray deliverance. Let us pray for strength, because sometimes it takes strength, because you can imagine now, some of the stories, beautiful stories though, why I call them beautiful stories, because of the ending, restoration that came to their homes, their marriages, and
Mm.
everything and all that. But it was not without headache and heartache. And I would say, um that is not a place to go. If if you're in a for you're in a relationship that there's so much contention, so much hatred. That is why we say it takes a lot of courage. That's why, I mean, I know God doesn't, we we are not here to say divorce is okay. I'm married, she's married. Well, no, I don't, it's not okay. But God doesn't hate divorced people. And sometimes it takes a lot of strength and courage for women to step out. Even sometimes for men, some men to step out. If a woman want to kill you, maybe you have this woman that is a giant, and then you are this little guy there, and you, before you say anything, you receive punch in your teeth, and you are too ashamed to go and tell your pastor that your wife is beating you at home. It's embarrassing. So it will take so much courage. Why when you go and tell your pastor that your wife is beating you, your pastor will probably slap you. I say, how can you say woman is beating you? So when a man is in this situation, it's even worse, because no mercy. People will beat them outside to say a woman is beating you. So they are men. I'm telling you, there are men out there that are receiving punches from their wives. You see, and these people exist. May God be with you. You go and receive a woman that his eye is at the back. You go and smoke all those, what do they call it, those ganja. You are not allowed to bring your family in, nothing, nothing. When they leave, you beat the hell out of you. You cannot go and tell people. Do you see how so please, men, watch out also for other brothers that are in abusive relationship. It's just one time a brother said that, all of a sudden I'm like, that woman is pregnant for you, you're not married. He said he forced him. I'm like, how can a man the woman force you? You force you to get her pregnant. Just lot of crazy. Doesn't make sense. I don't know if that is true, but men go through stuff. I'm speaking from a woman point of view, so I don't know much about that world. So I'm going to stay on my lane. So let's pray for brothers. So if you're a brother, you're in an abusive relationship, your wife is beating you, please get help. Look at, you see, you are laughing, and such a that is why they probably will not say anything, because people are going to like People of God, I think we are out of here because you see that is something to check on. That is something to yeah. What are you going to say? Because the man cannot go to the police station and report. Because when they report, they won't believe him. If you come and report, my wife is beating me, they won't believe him because the wife will beat the hell out of him probably, and then go and make report. They will first believe the woman. And may God deliver our brothers from Jezebel and Delilah's. Okay, so that is going on. We feel that, but we just want to bring this message of hope to women. Laughter is good for your soul, people of God. I'm saying, please continue to send us your questions. Thank you so much for your time today, and shalom.
Thanks for watching. Hope you've been blessed by today's message. Follow Apostle Mercedes Mondon at Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.